try to like see something, and then if I find it to be like something that I can see in the long term, I'll go
Mhm.
after it because I think that life is too short to be afraid, and life is too short to not go after things that you want. And if you don't try, how do you know you're going to fail? And I mean, my coach used to tell me fail is first attempt in learning. So you have to fail to get better. Oh, this is my TED talk. You have to get better. So, if that's what somebody needs to hear today, I mean, it's true. You have to really try. And that's why I tried on this channel. And this is why you tried with your company.
I got called for an illegal substitution. She went in like out of rotation or something, or somebody had subbed in for somebody else who's the second sub, and
Hmm.
they had to take all those points. But she absolutely did not care. Our whole team was still like flexing off. So we lost the points, but we won the battle for sure.
That was a moment for her. She probably remembers that moment as the first time when you do something that somebody told you that you weren't going to do because growth is revenge.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Better at Beach Volleyball podcast. My name is Mark Burrick, and if you are here, you are most likely interested in some way in getting better at beach volleyball or volleyball in general, whether you're a player or a coach. If you guys want to get a hold of my 36 favorite beach volleyball drills, all you have to is go under the show notes before or after this, and you can download them. You just click in, fill in a form. I'll send you my 36 favorite drills. However, whenever you want to go and download them, they're my gift to you, and then that'll put you on our email list, and then we send you everything that we do, and you are actually set up to get 4 years of free lessons into your inbox if you ever wanted to do that. So if you want free beach volleyball advice for coaches and players, you're more than welcome to go in and click below. So our fall and winter camps for 2023, 2022, and 2023 are now on sale. So if you want to join us in St. Petersburg Beach, Florida, for 7 days of training and playing and meeting other volleyball players with built-in friends, as well as hanging out with some pro players, more than welcome to join that. Go ahead to betteratbeach.com/camps. Now, on to today's show. Our guest today, I've secretly been following her for, I want to say 4 years now. She's a volleyball influencer. She has an amazing YouTube channel. She is growing all of her social media. She's incredibly talented. She connects really well. And when I look at all of the comments and everything that she's doing, I see that she really connects with her audiences and teaches everybody volleyball. I'm excited to learn from her about how to grow an audience, how to grow a business, and as well as chat some volleyball. So please, everybody, huge round of applause. Please welcome Coach Koko. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm giving the applause for you. That was a beautiful intro. Great.
Thank you.
I
Thank
feel
you.
really welcome. Thank
Yeah.
you.
There are thousands of others ready in the wings, applauding and cheering. They just can't, we turn their audio off.
Woo! That's okay. I'm excited about a podcast because this is actually my second podcast and I like to talk. So it's really fun to talk to somebody who's so passionate about volleyball because you have to understand some people don't get it.
Some people don't get it.
They don't get it. But when you find your people, it's really good to talk about it.
Me and Brandon, who is one of the partners in the company, whenever we go out to like a big volleyball tournament, we see how many people are there, and then at our camps as well. Like we start our training at 8:30. Some people are out there at 7 getting private lessons, and we wake
Mm.
up, bags under our eyes, desperately trying to reach for a coffee, and we look at each other. We go, people love volleyball.
They do. They do, and then you have to remember that when people are training for, like, the first time, that's their first time interacting with you, and you have to make that experience amazing. Like, if you were a kid going to Disney, those actors better be on point if you're there for the first time. So, I think about it like that.
Mm.
Every eye is the first time they're meeting you, and that's their first impression. So, it
Oh,
has to be important.
100%. It's people don't realize, I think something that you and I might both realize is whatever sort of clout you've built up, whatever audience you've built up, like you've got 202,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is
Yay!
insane.
I know.
But when somebody just comes to your channel and sees one video for the first time, you can't act like somebody who's got 200,000 followers and that this new person is somehow beneath you or anything. Like, your reputation to somebody meeting you for the first time doesn't mean anything to them. It's how you make that person feel and how you interact with them or show them. And I think your channel does a really good job of
Thank you.
welcoming new people and saying like, hey, this is me. This is who I am. Now we're gonna teach you something.
Right. I like to keep it I wanna be direct, but at the same time, remember that it costs $0 to be a good person.
Mm,
And I try to be kind every single step of the way because I was a beginner once. You were a beginner once. All of those elite players were beginners once. And we have to remember that when we were a little beginner stepping on the court the first time, we didn't want somebody to go, serve that ball, jump. We wanted somebody to say, let me show you something. Let me
right,
show you what I know.
right. Is that why you started? The reason we started, we saw a huge lack in beach volleyball coaching for adults. Like, there was nowhere
Right.
to go to learn it. There were a lot of juniors coaches out there, but nowhere that you could search and find just high quality, easy, accessible information. So that's why we kind of started ours. But what was the impetus that made you start posting on YouTube at the very least?
I think for me, there was a lot of different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons was I started playing volleyball really late,
Mm,
late by volleyball standards. So I wasn't one of those children who was passing a ball at 3 or in middle school, junior camps in 7th grade. I started playing in 10th grade. I'm
okay.
talking nothing, zero experience. And I remember feeling like there was this huge gap between me and the other players
Mm,
because they had been playing for so many years. And I was just this athletic girl who could bench like nobody's business and who could serve a volleyball over the net. I'm telling you, I hit the ball the first time and it hit the back wall. And I think the coach said,
we can work with
"Okay,
that.
okay, we're gonna work on it." So I think I started my channel to bridge that gap because I didn't want any players to feel the way that I did. I
Mm,
didn't feel like there was that accessible knowledge from somebody literally going on the school website and saying, I want to play volleyball to making the team.
I like that. Yeah, but it's weird that we always kind of create things that come out of a little bit of past pain.
Right.
For me, it was like, man, where do I find a coach out in California? Like, I'm in California now. Shouldn't there be coaches waving flags that they're coaches? And there definitely were not people saying, "Here, come here. I will help you learn how to play volleyball at an elite level." There needs to be a couple people raising their hands and saying, "I'm here to help you,"
Right.
and standing
Right.
out.
And it's difficult to find places to look. I mean, there are a lot of talented coaches out there. They really are. But you have to know where to find them.
Right. Now, you played in high school, right? And then
I
you went on and you
did.
played club in college.
I did. Great experience.
Nice. And where'd you play club in college?
I went to UNC Charlotte, so I played club for 4 years, and then I went and transitioned from club to open level adult volleyball,
Mhm.
and I'm still in that scene now, and it's been a lot of fun. I think I learned some really crazy stuff in open level adult volleyball that I didn't know in club,
Mm.
and it's just a little bit more flexible in a way, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot more social, if that makes sense.
Was there anything that you learned playing club or in high school that you had to unlearn later on? Like, when you're playing open, was there something that you were taught by a few coaches, and then as you progressed through your talent and your skill, you're like, actually, that's not what we should be doing.
Okay, I'm gonna give you an analogy because I do these a lot on my channel. Okay. It's like when you're learning high school Spanish, you're learning from the textbook, and then you go out and you try to speak Spanish, and they're like, no, this is not how we do this here. So, this is the same feeling that I had then. I was volleyball in high school, in college, in club. It is very procedural in a
Mm,
way. There's a certain way things will work. There's a certain way you're going to learn your serve. There's a certain way you're going to learn your attack. And then when you go to like open level or maybe beach or grass, you start to become more one with yourself
mm.
and you're still using that foundation, but now you're adding on the dynamics of your own body in a way. So I think I hit differently now than I did then
I mean, I hope so. Like,
to a better result.
right?
So,
You hope that everybody, they used to tell me in college, they would say like, hey, you're just at the beginning right now. You don't understand that in the next 6, 10 years, you're going to become a much better player than you are in college. And being a 29-year-old cocky kid, you're going, no, I'm at my athletic peak. Like, this is as high
No.
as it gets. And then now I look at myself in college and I would absolutely wipe the floor with me. It would be an embarrassment.
Let me ask you, if you could play one-on-one with your college self,
Mm.
how would that match go?
Oh, I'd crush them. It
See,
would,
then that's growth.
I would crush them.
There's growth.
Yep, absolutely. So you said that there were some different techniques that you've learned now that
Mhm.
you didn't necessarily, or were too sticky for you, I guess, in high school and college. What were they?
I was a middle blocker. She is now retired. Okay. I consider myself an outside hitter now, but I was a middle blocker. So my main priority, as we all know, was blocking the ball.
Mm,
But my passion was to attack the ball. I dreamed of hitting 10-foot line. I was like, give me the opportunity, give me the quick. The quick never came. So I just kept blocking. And then when I started to transition out of club into adult, I started hitting the ball on a men's net
oof.
and the skies opened up for me. I was like, "Oh, this is what I've been meaning to do the whole time." And that's why I teach on my channel. It's important to try different skills to
Mm,
find one that you connect with so you can build that longevity. I don't want anybody to be playing the libero if they're not passionate about being the libero, or the setter and they're not passionate about being the setter. Your experience is up to you to a certain degree, and you have to take some advocacy with that.
right. Yeah. And I mean, first of all, you have to be able to play different positions, right?
You do.
This is indoor and this is beach. Like, you can't get stuck as a blocker and say, I'm only a blocker. Or you can't sit there and put on a pouty face when you have to play another position because your team needs you there. But
Right.
if you do want to play that other position, you got to work for it. You have to develop the
You do.
skills. Like, if you wanted to become an outside hitter while you were being trained as a middle, well, guess what? Everybody else is getting 2 more hours of passing reps than you are. So now you want to be an outside hitter? You owe another 2 hours per day in the gym, and that's up to you to do that.
Mhm.
And for teams and players that are just trying to hit the next level, I've always thought that showing up to practice is the bare minimum.
Correct.
You hear the parents and everybody like, "Hey, like, my daughter showed up. She went to every practice, every workout. Congratulations! Your kid just did the absolute minimum requirement to be on the team, not to start on the team,
Right.
not to get all that playing time."
Right. And that's why I mean, I've always taught about like I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term grit, but grit is so necessary. You have to be able to really dig deep and stick your heels in the ground and determine what you want and like manifest it. You have to go after it. If you know that you want to be a libero and you want to be a libero so bad, and right now you're a right side, you have to really go for it. And that means taking the time to learn the skills, talking to the setter. Can you set me a back row attack? I'm trying to practice it,
Mm,
things like that that can push you forward. And I think that a lot of players don't really know that you can kind of like push the coach by saying, hey, so I've been practicing in my own time and I want to show you what I've learned. And that shows that you're coachable and initiative. I mean, I would be like, whoa, respect.
I like that. I like the non-silence of that. There's a better way to put that. But not just saying, "Ugh, they never let me hit. They never let me hit." How many times have you asked to hit? Like, do you do it every day in a cool sort of friend nudge nudge way? Or, do you walk back to the end of the middle line and be like, they're still not letting me hit outside? Well, you gotta earn it, and then B, also ask for it. Because if you're working in the dark, if you're in the gym for 2 hours or you're on the beach for 2 hours when nobody else is watching, which is what you should do, somebody has to then know about it, and then you have to open your own opportunities to be able to do it.
Right.
I mean, it looks to me like you're the person who opens a lot of her own opportunities.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I try to like see something, and then if I find it to be like something that I can see in the long term, I'll go
Mhm.
after it because I think that life is too short to be afraid, and life is too short to not go after things that you want. And if you don't try, how do you know you're going to fail? And I mean, my coach used to tell me fail is first attempt in learning. So you have to fail to get better. Oh, this is my TED talk. You have to get better. So, if that's what somebody needs to hear today, I mean, it's true. You have to really try. And that's why I tried on this channel. And this is why you tried with your company. You tried something and it's working.
Right. Yeah. working, growing. What do you attribute other than trying? Maybe we'll dig into a little bit of the influencing and channel
Yeah.
building. Do you remember your first channel? When you started your YouTube channel, did you say, I'm going to make a YouTube channel, or was it just a post that you needed to put up for somebody?
Well, Coco Volley is my second channel. I had
Oh.
another channel and I had been doing social media for quite some time, just like a little just hidden in
Ah,
like the shadows of like, I'm going to do something. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to do something. And when I first started on YouTube, I wanted to be like this health and wellness, like really holistic kind of like we should self-care and things like that. And I still talk about those on my channel. But then I realized, okay, I'm playing volleyball and a lot of people are coming to me asking me for tips. Maybe I can just record these tips and put them somewhere. And I was out to dinner with a friend one day and she said, you should put this on YouTube. And I said, huh. That's interesting. That's
mm,
real interesting. And then I took that and I sat on it for like 6 months. And then one day I posted it and I saw a little bit of a need. And then
mm.
it started getting shared and it started getting shared. And I started having my community come in and going, oh my God, can you teach me how to overhand serve? And I was like, I'd be honored. So yeah, and it went from there.
6 months you sat on it. I
I
think
sat on it.
that's
It was
funny.
that fear. It was that fear. I was afraid.
Were you? What was it, fear, or were you just like, I don't know if this is gonna have any value? Like, did you see the value
Right.
potential? Because to me, no one could make it clear to me in the beginning. Somebody said, "Hey, Mark, just start a YouTube channel. This is how you're gonna start growing your brand." And this was one of the guys in Tony Robbins' like 6-person circle. Like he knew his stuff, and he was a volleyball junkie. And he brought out a camera, and we still have those videos on our channel, and I was just frozen and robotic in front of the camera. I had no idea what to do it, and I said, what is this even going to turn into? Like, so many
Right.
people are going to see it. So I didn't realize what it could have been. Otherwise, I definitely would have started it way earlier. I'm happy where we're at
Yeah.
now, but it took a while. But it wasn't fear for me, it was why. I didn't understand.
Yeah. I'm gonna correct my previous statement. I also would say maybe not fear, but why? Because I mean, when you think about it, when I started my channel in 2017, YouTube was like somewhere you'd go to like change your tire. Like, how do I change a tire?
Right.
Or, how do I carve a pumpkin? Not how do I overhand serve a volleyball. So I didn't know if there was like really an audience for it yet.
Hmm.
But then I realized, oh, okay, people really like the sport. Okay. And then, people started wanting to play and then it just kind of, I don't know, manifested from there. But I just didn't think YouTube was the place for volleyball content in the beginning.
Right. It's a little
But
weird, right?
now it is. I mean, social media has gone crazy. I mean, crazy. So,
Yeah, there's so much into the YouTube part of it is, all right, now I have to search what people are searching for. And then even when you
right.
think you have what they're searching for me, I kind of thought that there was a lot of information out there on the basics of how to pass. So when I started my first two videos, I immediately titled them advanced passing techniques, like how to pass a short ball or how to pass the high deep ball. Those have no search terms. So nobody is like typing those into that. The only thing that we know, because we didn't even put volleyball in the title. So in terms of search, there was no way people would have found that. And it took hours of podcasting, of not hosting a podcast, listening to podcasts to understand, like, oh, you got to figure out what people type in the search bar when they're actually
Yeah.
looking for this advice.
Yeah.
And then you got to double check it on YouTube, and the
Yeah.
keywords everywhere and all that.
It's a lot of back end work. I don't know about you, but my coach told me you practice before the season and you play during the season. It's kind of like that, where you got to do all of this research and then you put the video out. But you've already spent like a week trying to research this one video. So it's a lot of back end work.
Right. Do you love that stuff? Do you love the keyword
I love
research?
I love editing. I love seeing
Oh, you're
keywords.
an editor? Ugh,
I love editing. Oh,
I
it's so
hate
great.
it. That is,
Have you
I
seen my
don't do a second
transitions?
of editing.
I have like rainbows and sparkles, and I'm like, hacha. So I like editing. But with keyword research, I'm always interested to see what I see. Cause sometimes I'm like, how to do what? I'm surprised by what people want to know.
Right.
So that surprises me. That's my thing with keywords. I think sometimes it can be a little tedious because you have to comb through so much.
Hmm.
So yeah.
It's always interesting. And then like the misspellings. You go
Yeah,
through and you're like, oh, do I really have to make one video that spells volley with a single L?
yeah, uh-huh.
It's like,
Yeah, uh-huh.
All right, I guess I gotta get that fake keyword.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, if it worked, if you
Yeah.
strike gold, you better go for it.
What's your number one video right now? Do you know what your like top
I
performing?
do.
What is it?
I do. How to overhand serve for beginners. That
Perfect.
story I went back to, can you teach us how to overhand? It was that one.
Oh yeah. What is your best serving advice? Go through it. Let's teach the audience.
My best serving advice is going to be kind of non-traditional. I would say you have to really think the ball is going to go over. If
Mm,
you are stepping up to that line and you're like, I have never made a serve in my life, it's not going to happen, it's going to suck. It probably might suck. So you need to really think in your mind. Positive affirmations can take you far. If you start to tell yourself over and over again, I'm going to do it over, I'm going to get it over, maybe not this time, but I'm going to get it over, and you start to get that technique, you start to really change your habits when you start thinking positively. Naturally, you might start to get more into the rhythm. You might get your bow and arrow a little better. You might remember to step in. I like to get that mindset part of it because I think we forget about that a lot.
do you use any visualization with them? Do you say like, okay, imagine yourself hitting this to the wall
I
or anything?
do. I do. I recently had a client who was trying to make their high school volleyball team, and we were talking about like the power of not necessarily visualization, but of them thinking about the game. I wanted her to really think about herself very in detail, stepping up to the line. What are you wearing when you're stepping up to the line? What does it sound like? What does it look like? So that way, when we're actually going through it, she has that recording and that routine,
Mm.
and it worked. So I think that that was helpful because when you can see it, you can go after it. You can't drive without a map or a GPS. Some people can, but a lot of people can't. So
Yeah.
you have to really see it.
I like that. That's good advice. I had one story from coaching club years ago. There was one girl that we had on our team. Her coach told her, her high school coach told her she would never jump spike surf. She would never jump
Wow.
surf. And I was like, "What? Why?" I said like I needed to know like why did he think that you could not ever jump surf? I goes, "That's completely bogus." And so we had her working on it week after week. Every one of my players for indoor, one of the first things that we learn is how to jump serve because I think that when you practice a jump serve, you're practicing a spike at the same time.
Yeah,
So I
same
think it
mechanics.
actually gets you like two skills. You know, hey,
Hmm.
you can practice attacking and you can practice serving and of course the arm swing mechanics and strength by developing this. And even if you start at, jumping from behind the 10-foot line to make sure you get it over, sure, start there. You'll eventually back up. But we put her in the game in a club tournament against her old high school coach. I subbed her in specifically to serve jump serves. And
I'm
she
liking the way this is going. I hear revenge story. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
it was so revenge story. She rattled off 3 aces and earned 5
Oh!
points. Here's the funny part, as being a new coach, after all of that, I got called for an illegal substitution. She went in, like, out of rotation or something, or somebody had subbed in for somebody else who's the second sub, and
Hmm.
they had to take all those points, but she absolutely did not care. Our whole team was still, like, flexing off, so we lost the points, but we won the battle for sure.
That was a moment for her. She probably remembers that moment as the first time when you do something that somebody told you that you weren't going to do because growth is revenge. When you show that you've made progress.
Right?
I'm proud of her. You go,
Yeah,
girl.
Brittany
That's
Banker.
good.
I gotta
Yay,
check in with
Brittany.
her.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
So, tell me about your audience a little bit. Who's
Mhm.
finding you? Who are you helping? And why would people find you? And I know that they can hire you. They can take some online coaching as well. So, tell me a little bit about your business and your audience.
Okay. So I want you to think about you at 13.
Mm,
Maybe you haven't played volleyball before. Are you thinking about it? Okay. You haven't played before. You're literally walking in to the school and you see a sign that says volleyball tryouts, no experience. That's my audience. The
got it.
person who has just now experiencing it for the first time. They're on YouTube. They're like, maybe I'll try a sport this year for school. Okay. Volleyball. What the heck? Boom. Coach Coco. Hi, what's up, you guys? My name is Coach Coco. There we go. So
That's
that's
awesome.
me.
Very nice. Okay. And then, what do you do? So obviously you're giving away tons of great free advice on YouTube, on Instagram and TikTok, right? You also have a pretty big TikTok channel.
Yeah.
So are you going through sponsorships? Are you relying on the income from YouTube? or do you get a lot of those coaching clients, would you say?
I think it's a combination of both. I do in-person coaching because I like to coach in person. So that
Yeah.
way we can kind of like, translate some real skills. And then I do clients that are online. We do confidence coaching. We do online overhand serve coaching, things like that. And I have courses, which like breaks it down even further than YouTube. And then I do sponsorships selectively based upon if I think it's appropriate for my brand, because I would never bring anything to my channel that I do not support or believe in because
Mm.
they are the utmost importance.
That's nice. How do you go about getting a sponsorship for a YouTube channel? Is that outreach or do people I get a few emails every week, but they're all shady. They're like
Yeah.
from like a gambling or a gaming site and it's like
Yeah.
I've gotten enough of them where I know to just delete them. Every now and then it's written okay, but we are still, for our podcast, for our channel, we're still looking to support other businesses, but no one's reached out and said, "Hey, we'd like to sponsor your podcast. Hey, we'd like to sponsor your
Right.
channel." We have the audience for sure, but I'm also so focused on building my business and I'm not trying to reach out to other people.
Right.
So if they
I
came,
think for a lot of YouTubers, it's a different story. But for volleyball, because we find volleyball so important and we're so passionate about volleyball and our audience is so passionate about volleyball, but sometimes businesses don't know what volleyball is and they don't understand the value of the volleyball audience because we're some good people. Okay.
Mhm,
And we deserve to be able to see different items and see different product that influencers are bringing to us that they care about us. So they want to show us something. A lot of it is outreach because you have to show your value to the business and saying, "Hey, my name is Mark. This is what we have. I'll bring you here." Boom,
mm,
So a lot of it is outreach in the beginning. And
okay,
then once you start to build a repertoire, sometimes that connection will share it with another connection, and then
that's a
another
good point.
connection.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What do you think are the best products that align with volleyball players? Like if you had, we'll say three, we're not going to make a giant list, but like three dream companies that you think would be perfect for
Oh,
your
me?
audience. Yeah. Well, not you, but perfect for your audience and you.
Oh,
Tough
oof.
question.
Okay. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Okay, listen. I would love to work with Gatorade. Just
Mm,
give me drinks and I will show the drink. Okay. Um, of course, like the bigger brands like Nike and things like that. Those are like literal dreams,
okay.
okay? But I think for in volleyball in general, we need a lot of different things. Like for you, maybe sunscreen. I
Mhm,
would go after sunscreen. I would go after glasses, things like that. That would be beach volleyball players find a necessity for. Like for me, the sunglasses probably wouldn't fly, but for you, it would, right?
mhm,
But
mhm.
then for both of us, volleyball shoes, you
Yeah.
know. So I think that we have to look at like first the level of play, then we have to look at the age. It's a lot of different realms that you have to look at. But think about things that you usually use on a daily basis and go after that.
Oh, and then just reach out to those. How do you
Like adjacent.
for
Mhm.
people who are there's a lot of players on tour who and I mean I did this in my 20s. I would try to do that. I would try to reach out to yeah, like a protein supplement and say like, "Hey, I've got 5,000 followers. Like I'm on tour. People are going to watch me play. So, do you want to sponsor me?" And then I would spend hours and end up with like a free tub of protein. And I would be
Sometimes
like,
it's like 1,000 emails and you get like 10 back.
"Yeah, that
So
became a waste of
that
my
same
time."
grit. It's that
You know?
same grit. I know. It is. Yeah, but it's that same grit. So,
I
but
guess
you
maybe
have
my ask was too small, and instead of saying like this is what it costs for a season, I'd be like,
right.
well, do you have any product or something like that? And then you really have to prove yourself to that company that they're actually getting clicks, and you say, look what I generated for you. You can't just
Right.
associate yourself with somebody and then expect it from there. And then you got to care for the relationship, right?
Right.
It, like, hey, thanks for all that stuff, and then they never hear from you again. What's going to happen there?
Yeah, I mean, I would like think about it as like, hey, I'm Mark. I have 47,000 subscribers. This is what I can do for you. This is my audience, and this is what they want. Your product, meet you, let's do it. Very like, this is what I'm going to give you. This is what you're going to get out of it. Because when they think about it from the business standpoint, they're not thinking about, oh, he plays beach. That's awesome. My daughter plays beach. Let's go with him. They're thinking about it like, well, how many people are going to click? It's very business oriented. Like I got into business with this and I never thought I was going to do business.
Mm,
This is so um people don't realize how professional YouTube can be and
Oh,
how
yeah.
like when we put a video out, that's our passion. But then to keep putting videos out, we have to be very analytical about how we do it. So there's a lot that goes into bringing you this new product. We sponsored this. We signed this. We signed this 3 months ago for you to see this now. So
Right.
you know,
Okay, so do you have, any current sponsorships, people that are helping you out? Any companies that you're working with, like, in the immediate time?
well, I am a long-term partner of All Volleyball. Love
Oh,
them.
AVB, they're great. Such great
I
guys.
love them. So, yes, and, I recently finished a sponsorship with Under Armour on TikTok. Hey,
Oh, snap.
guys.
That's nice.
So, yeah. So, right now I'm still kind like buckling down in coaching, but I'm open for sponsorship if you see me, hey. So,
That's awesome. Okay, what questions do you get from your audience the most? I know you said, overhand serving, it's definitely a big one, and that's one of the intimidating ones. I think, adults as well as kids, and I think a lot of parents are worried about their kid like starting to overhand serve. And I tell everybody, just start overhand serving. Like, do it in practice all day long. Learn the underhand serve just so that when it comes time to the match, if your team needs you to make one in, all right, you make in that underhand serve and it should be relatively easy compared to learning that. But don't lose the reps from
right,
attempting overhand spiking, because then it'll just drag that timeline out before you learn it.
right.
So
I
what other
think
than overhand serve do you get like most questions?
I get a lot of questions about okay, this one's a good one. I'm a boy, how can I play volleyball? I get that a
Wow.
lot.
Still,
I get
huh?
that a lot.
Oh,
I get that a lot, and I have some great advice for that.
okay.
I also get, I don't feel like I'm good as other people. What do I do? And I get a lot of passing questions, but most of, I would say generally, most are the serving, the social emotional things. You can come to my channel. We can just have a whole like sit together and we can go, we can hug and whatnot. So it's a lot of not only skill based things, but mental, social, emotional questions.
More people than I thought really want to hear about the mental and partner side of it. And it's wild because it is so difficult. Learning how to
It,
communicate with somebody, how to talk to them, how to help them or help their technique without offending them,
right,
or making them feel bad about what they need to fix. That's
right.
tough. And then,
It
like
is.
you said earlier, talking with coaches, saying like, "Hey, can I hit outside for a few reps right now? I know I'm a middle, but can I pass some balls?"
And I think the reason why my channel has done so well is because I break things down very easily, but also because I seem very approachable because I am very approachable. But I went through great lengths to make sure my channel is a safe space.
Mm,
Like you have like psychological safety over there. You can ask anything, and then you'll see, as you've seen, you can see other people commenting like, "You got it. It's gonna be great." And I love that. I love that so much because it's such an encouraging environment. Because sometimes you can't ask those questions in practice.
right.
And for the fear of being wrong, for the fear of being judged, for the fear of somebody thinking, well, that was a dumb question. That's why I want my channel to be a place where the coach taught you a new skill. My coach told me this today, and I don't know what it means. Can you tell me what this term means? And then I explain it, and they're like, oh, okay. And they go and apply it. So it's a safe volleyball haven for the new players to come and like collect together and
I
chat.
like that. Do you find yourself talking back or commenting more and conversing more with people on any specific channel? Like, is it TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, or your members?
I talk a lot to a lot of people on Instagram, a
Okay.
lot, and a lot of people through email, like Instagram DM and through email. We're voice messaging each other back. We're like, hey, yeah. So it's a lot of Instagram, and then I try to comment back on YouTube because we get a lot of questions that are very similar that I like to message back, and I try to be as accessible as possible. And if I notice something that's being asked by a lot of people, it's obviously something that people want to see.
Right.
So, but then also people want that personalization. They want me to reply to them. So,
Yeah.
a video is one thing, but she replied to what I said. She took the time out of her day to really read it. I think that's a great feeling.
How do you measure your time with that? We're at the point where we have I mean, we're not even close to your following on YouTube, and our Instagram is growing, so we're getting 500 new followers a day just on Instagram. And it's like
Oh!
it's crazy the growth. But now it's like so many people are asking questions and commenting and wanting responses that I I would literally need another 24 hours in each day to ask
Yeah.
to answer those questions. So we've hired a few coaches. So now we've are really starting to develop a team and kind of invested in more coaching, more of the courses so that people have better, faster answers. But
Mhm.
it's between my text messages, emails, Zendesk, the YouTube comments. There's no way. Facebook comments, Instagram. They're all good questions. And like you said, we want to summarize a lot of them and then say, okay, enough people are asking this. Let's make a really good post on this or a good video on this. But
Mhm.
how do you handle that influx of messages and comments?
Well, the first step is to not panic. I'm a one-person team. I've been a one-person team this whole time. So,
It's
you know, it's
bonkers to me.
it's easy for me to feel bad because I'm not getting back to everybody, and I'm like,
Mm,
"Oh my gosh, they took their time out of their day to write an entire paragraph. I have to respond." But then I also have to be grateful to myself. Like, you can't feel bad. You have to do what you can do. So what I do is I set a specific time each week, a specific time block. This is when I'm going to do Instagram.
okay.
This is when I'm going to do YouTube. This is when I so that way I feel like it's scheduled so I don't start to feel that overwhelm creeping up because I know that time's coming back.
How big are those blocks of time with all of your followers?
Maybe like 2 hours. So I
Oh
try to go
wow.
like Instagram, like 2 hours of just drinking a smoothie. So, YouTube, I try to do about 2 hours. I'm a big kind of person who likes to chunk my time because I have
Yeah,
so little time. But even sometimes fitting it in where I'm at the DMV waiting for my license to get renewed.
right.
Just small times that you can fit things in, but that doesn't mean oversaturate your day. Just when you can, because you have to also remember that they understand.
Right.
They understand.
Well, some of them
So
do. Yeah.
hopefully they understand.
You get the
Hopefully,
influx of negativity and you're just like, "Eh," just brush it
yeah,
off, and you're just like some people just need to be negative for whatever
right,
reason. It's like, did you really
right.
take the time out of your day to be angry on the internet? Yeah,
But you remember, all press is good press. They took the
sometimes.
time to send it to you. So that means they're watching you, which means they clicked on it, which means there's a view, right?
Right? They're supporting the algorithm. Like
They're supporting you. So,
okay. So you said one of your most common questions is I'm a boy, where do I play volleyball? What's your response?
yeah. So, I get that question quite a bit. And I'm so happy that in the United States, where we both live, male volleyball is becoming much more popular.
Mm,
Here in North Carolina, we have some different clubs that are now having men's volleyball accessible to a lot of male players. High school volleyball is a different story.
mm.
We're
Yeah,
seeing it becoming more developed. I know that where you are in California, you probably see it much more popular. But here on the East Coast of the United of the States, it's still developing. And I like how the more we ask about it, the more people think about it, the more it happens.
mhm,
We have to be proactive. And I know I've said it before in the podcast, we have to be proactive about what we want. We want more men's volleyball teams. We have to be proactive and take the initiative. I've actually had some players who say, okay, I'm really inspired. I'm going to ask my school about it. That's that first question.
it's great.
That first question gets popped up to the athletic director, then they might go to the superintendent, and it might happen.
Yeah,
My college at UNC Charlotte, they had a men's volleyball team. I don't know if it's in existence anymore. This was like circa 2014, but they had a men's volleyball team. A lot of colleges are starting to happen, and it's just becoming more popular because it's becoming more visible. YouTube has made it more visible for us.
hmm yeah. One of my best friends in high school, he really wanted to play lacrosse in the spring season. Our school didn't have it. he went to the athletic director, he went to the dean, and he's like, "Hey, I want to start a team. I want to start a team. I want to start a team." And he pushed it. And he's like, "Well, do you have enough guys? Do you have this?" He was, 16 years old doing all of this paperwork, filling out things and plans and what was needed and where the other teams were. And it's he got a win, but he also got a loss. He made it happen, but
Mhm.
the lacrosse team existed for the first time its first season after he graduated.
Oh, god. But the
So the
fruits of his labor paid off, though, just not for
yeah,
him.
they did, just not for him. But like, look at what he laid the groundwork for other athletes that would otherwise not have that sport in our school. And so I was
Right.
so proud of him to just like, wait, you can just start a sport team? That was bonkers to think about. And he just went after it and he did it.
I think a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of universities, you can start a club with like, I don't know, 8 members and then a faculty member to sponsor your club. That's just me giving y'all some tea. You
Yeah.
could go to your university, go to the club area, get one faculty member, a certain amount of people to join, and then boom, club. Draw up
Yeah.
some bylaws, collect dues, boom, men's volleyball.
That's it.
Think
Yeah.
about it.
We did that at University of Delaware. That's
Did
how I
you?
started getting into it. One of my guys was he pushed really hard. He's from Pennsylvania and Niedemar. He actually became one of very influential in the coaching scene and the selection of all Americans for high school and college. And he pushed and pushed and pushed to get and keep this club. And there's a lot of work as a club president, but he created a legacy there. And then when I got in there with a little bit of extra mentality, we had 2 practice times per week. We really pushed them and we were able to get us up to 4 practice times per week. So then we had, 8 total practice hours. And it was great. We are strong. We, went to nationals, and that's nationals is where I really fell in love with volleyball. Oh,
Oh, so that was your why?
that was one of them. There's a bunch of different sports that I was playing, but when we went,
Oh, so you're multi-sport athlete.
yeah, I think everybody should be. Yeah, everybody should
What up?
be trying different sports and like attempting them because you'll develop a different sense of movement, little bits, specializing into one thing and only learning one thing. I just don't think it's that great in life in general.
Right,
You want to be a well-rounded person and a well-rounded athlete. Yeah, why not? Because if you are born in one sport, your parents tell you to play one sport and then you only do that, you don't even know what the other ones feel like. And
right, right.
volleyball was probably my 5th or 6th sport being on a competitive team.
Really?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to think of which one of it was mine. I played multiple sports in high school. I did track and field, but
nice.
I threw the discus into the shot put. I still
Okay.
have my school record. You think they're gonna
Oh,
retire my jersey? I hope they do. That would be awesome.
yeah, they'll probably make a ceremony about it.
Oh my god, I want a ceremony. I want them to, like, cater food and and I step up to the stage.
Hall of
No, it's
Fame.
been
That'll
too
be
long.
another YouTube video for you.
It's been too long. They forgot about me, it's fine. But yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely think that you won't know what you like until you try multiple
Right.
things, and one will just stick out to you, but volleyball's the best. I'm just putting that out there for anybody listening.
It is. People love volleyball,
It's
and
great.
it is
It's so great.
fantastic. Yeah. Just recently started, and this has been like a long time coming, but I just recently started doing some jujitsu and getting into that. And
Oh,
I came from football. And so
okay.
what I've always known that I missed from volleyball is the physical contact, like the impact.
Yes.
Something about it just is fun for me and the raw strength of it. So now getting into jujitsu, feeling that one-on-one your physical strength versus my physical strength, I love it. There's so much more technique that I haven't even tapped into yet. Like I'm a total beginner at it, but it's so much fun and I'm just enjoying like another sport. I'm 37 and now I'm trying another sport, so I'm stoked on
Right. I do have a question. So when you were trying jujitsu, and
it.
because you've been through the process of learning volleyball and you know how it was for you to learn how to play volleyball and all those stages that came with it, the the anger stage, the I'm doing great stage, the anger stage again, the I'm doing great stage. When you went to jujitsu, because you already went through that process with volleyball, is it easier for you mentally to understand what stages you're going through, or is it just completely different?
I think for me it's a little bit different because now I've been coaching for so long. So when I was,
Right.
playing volleyball, I had done a bunch of coaching, but as a kid, as a teenage coach who you're working with juniors or like really old ladies. So now it's interesting. I'm critiquing the coaches as they coach, inside my
Mhm.
mind, but I'm also
Mhm.
really trying to learn it because
Right.
jujitsu is this endless puzzle with changing pieces at all times. There's one piece of the puzzle that you're about to put it in there, and then something changes, and you're like, no, it goes here. Uh,
Oh.
so there's so much to constantly think about that it's really mentally intensive, and it's right for me learning right now. It's way less physical and way more just mentally intensive. So I'm enjoying it in that way. Yeah.
I mean, you have to keep growing and learning new things because it keeps your brain ripe. I mean, during the lockdown, I tried tennis, and let me tell you, I don't know if it was a great experience for me. I'm still trying. I'm dedicated.
Yeah.
I'm dedicated. I will learn how to serve a tennis ball. I'm telling you. It's just, but then the only issue with tennis for me, I'm sorry, tennis fans, like this directional control.
Hmm.
You have to have some real good depth perception,
Hmm.
and for me, I try to swing the racket as if I were attacking a volleyball. So it goes straight down and not
Ah.
at an angle. It is a lot of cardio, man. It's a lot of running.
Yep. Those forearms, that
Oh,
underhand stroke is different for people. So tennis was my first sport. So when
oh
I
my gosh. Are you a tennis person? I'm so sorry. I can't do it. I'm trying.
not at all. I love it. I still love it. I just chose other sports over it. Baseball season, took precedence, and then never got back to it after high school because they I tried real hard, but they wouldn't let me play both sports at the same time.
Oh.
And it's now I'm doing a little bit of beach tennis, which is like the
I'm
perfect
sorry. I'm sorry.
combination.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Beach
I learn a
tennis.
new sport every day. What is beach tennis? Is that the one where they have the bong 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 kind of thing back and forth?
Basically, I think you're just describing racket sports, but
Okay, okay, I've never heard beach tennis.
it's
Okay.
a smaller tennis court with a little bit of a higher net. The rackets are kind of fiberglass slash wood, so you don't have the power that comes from the strings. So it's a smaller court, higher net, and it's on sand. And obviously, you can't let the ball bounce. It's
Okay, that
so
is the
much
bong
fun.
bong one. I'm sorry, I
Yeah,
sound crazy. That's the
uh,
bong bong. Okay, yeah, that sounds like it'd be a lot more fun.
yeah. It is a lot. And then if you're playing beach volleyball before you go into that, it's a quick pickup. It's really, you're already above all the rest of the beginners. And if you had played tennis before you played that, you have a real advantage. So it's something that I can kind of jump into and feel competent right
So it's
away.
a crossover
It
of the
is.
best of both worlds for
Yeah,
you.
it's a good merge.
Have you ever played spike ball?
Yeah, of course. My life's on the beach. We got all that stuff.
Oh, they look so cool. Every time I go, I'm like, the spike ball people. But I'm not going over there. But it's so interesting to play. It's just so cool that there we can talk about all the different sports and how they've influenced our volleyball journey.
Yeah.
And as you know, sports are just awesome.
Yeah.
So
If somebody were to let's say there was a club director out there
mhm,
or somebody who has
mhm.
a facility and they were starting either they had the choice to start Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. What do you think would be the best path for them to growing their following, creating a community so that maybe they could grow a club or a team? And what would be their first steps? Like, could you lay out the first 3 days of what they might try?
I would first do research on the area I live in,
Okay.
and determining if volleyball is necessary a need in that area.
How
And
would you
if it
find that out?
is, so I would first do a simple Google search of volleyball near me
Hmm.
and seeing what comes up. And then I would click on the search results, probably the first page, to see kind of where audience they're targeting, kind of events that they're doing. You shouldn't reinvent the wheel if the wheel's already there. And just looking to see kind of where the direction the community is going to. If you live in a smaller community, it's going to be harder. So check a major city near you. So if you live like in the middle of nowhere, which some people do live in small cities, look at a bigger city near you.
Hmm.
Um, and then after you kind of see exactly who is looking for you, then you start giving them what they're looking for. Are these adult players? Are they middle school players? Are they high school players? Are they looking for summer camp? Is school out?
Hmm.
You have to look at the time of year. There's a lot of different things. The time
How do
of
you know
year.
what they are looking for?
So I use a search bar for everything.
Okay.
So if you go into the search bar and then you type in, let's use a hypothetical, volleyball near me, and then the first letter of something, it will start to populate results in the search bar.
Hmm.
And that's what people are looking for. Google populates
Oh,
results for
okay.
you. Hmm.
So you kind of get the most popular searches just by starting to type certain words.
Correct.
Huh.
So it lets you see different things you're looking for. So if I were the club director, you have to meet the demand and you have to provide value to who's looking for you. And you have to be in the right places that people are looking for. Try to make connections with athletic directors at schools.
Okay.
Try to make connections with church representatives.
Oh, this
Try
is
to
good stuff. Keep going.
I mean, they have children's churches. I mean, try to make connections with, I don't know, YMCAs if they don't have a volleyball program. There's a need for volleyball. You have to put yourself in the space volleyball is in.
Those are good key figures. Yeah,
Mm.
church organizations, YMCA, athletic departments, maybe even like local basketball courts. Like, hey,
Yeah.
do you have the volleyball
Yeah.
inserts? Does anybody
Mhm.
use it? Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
because some people might say, no, we don't have volleyball. And since they're not a volleyball person, they might just be saying no and never hearing from that again. But maybe they're saying no 20 times a week. No, we don't have volleyball. No, we don't have volleyball. And then if you call them, they go, no, but we get 100 people asking every year. So then you
Yeah.
can kind of jump onto it and say, do you have their numbers? Or could I
I mean,
set
you
it
need
up
to
and meet
have your
them?
card like on deck. You don't have volleyball, but you could.
Mm,
You don't have volleyball, but you could.
I
So
like that. Okay. So if they're searching, go and Google, see if there's more people who are interested um, with those searches, but then finding them becomes the harder part.
it does.
I,
It
I
does.
I give similar advice, but I always steer people towards Facebook groups. I go search on Facebook for volleyball insert city, volleyball
Mhm.
insert like state and town, and then join those and see those. But getting training groups together is usually a big thing that my audience, like mostly adults from my side, is, hey, I
Mhm.
love beach volleyball, but there's like 5 players in my town. How do I find people that actually want to practice? And
Right.
everybody wants to play, no one wants to improve. And for those people, I always say, you get in the Facebook group, you
Mhm.
very specifically say, I am doing passing reps, not playing volleyball. You say, I am doing passing reps from this time to this time at this location. Does anybody want to pass for an hour and a half with me? I'm working on serve receive. Like it has to be very specific for the training because you can cast a wide net and maybe grow from zero. But if there's already
Mhm.
a partial community there, but you're just looking for something specific, most of like I said, my audience is everybody plays and they hate that. They're like, I want to get better. I don't just want to play, I want to get
So
better. So for us, it's always find the people who want to train, put them into a private WhatsApp group, and then say, do you know anybody else who wants to just pass for 90 minutes? Because that's a
right.
very specific type of person. Most
It
people will
is.
say, no, I want to play, or they'll get there and they'll say, yeah, I want to pass. And then 15 minutes in, they'll try to turn it into a game. And it's like, this isn't your person. You need to knock them out and reinsert somebody else.
What about offering those type of services before some type of tournament? I mean, like, I know in my area, we have tournaments all the time.
Mm,
Like, I'm talking every weekend, super fun, and people tend to play more right before it.
that's a brilliant idea. Connecting with a
I
local
mean,
tournament director and saying, hey,
yeah.
could I do a free clinic or training session,
Or volleyball open gym here. Hey guys, I know you guys came for open gym, but my name's Mark, and today, I mean that is clickbait. Don't do clickbait in real life. I'm just kidding. But we tend to
Oh,
play on our
bring them
teams
in for
with
open gym and say, "No, actually,
yeah,
we're running
don't
suicides."
don't do real clickbait in real life. I don't think it's gonna work out well. They have their car, they're gonna leave.
Gotcha. We're doing drills for the next 3 hours.
Right. Yeah, don't do that. I was but I mean, it gets them in the door, so
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, we tend to play a lot more before a tournament. If I know it's coming, I'm like, okay, guys, we got to get it together.
Mm.
So, where are we going to go? Oh, we could go to that gym that Mark rented. Oh, well,
Mhm. Yeah, well, he's kind of a crazy
we're
man.
going to run. We're going to run, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do jumping drills for the next 2 hours, like, I wanna walk on Monday.
If it gets me better,
Yeah.
shoot, I'll do it.
Yeah, right. I do like that idea of reaching out to very specific personnel who would be in charge. That would be a heck of a list to just come up with and give out to the audience and say
Networking.
like, "Hey, church leaders, YMCAA, gym leaders, anybody who manages any sort of gymnasium." Like CYO in New York, we had CYO, Catholic Youth Organization. It was like the church
Hmm.
league, but there are people who control that gym and the timing of it. And we used to be able to get gym time from our church.
Get on the schedule. Get on the schedule.
Yeah. That's good advice. How do you grow an Instagram channel?
Well, I think my Instagram grew kind of organically, like off of my YouTube.
Mhm.
Like my YouTube is like the real baby, and the
Gotcha.
Instagram is like, supplementary to that real baby. I think it depends on who really utilizes Instagram. So for me, Facebook is not a bit large audience for me because my audience is on the younger side. So they don't really use Facebook very much.
Gotcha.
They're much more on the TikTok and YouTube. So I
Uh-huh.
focus primarily on those. But then I do have those who utilize Instagram, and everybody's family here. So I make sure to make accessible content dependent on the platform. And sometimes the content will look different dependent on the platform.
Right.
Instagram is more um I don't want to say
Quick
cut and
hitters.
dry, but it's very straight to the point and very, this is what you need to know, and this is how I'm going to give it to you. TikTok is also, this is what you need to know. I'm going to be funny here, and
Yeah.
this is how I'm going to give it to you. And
Insert
then
a shuffle
YouTube is
dance.
right. And then YouTube is just like, hey guys, it's me editing transition wipe. I'm
Mhm.
here,
Yeah,
so
there's no time for like transitions in Instagram. Like that's when
no,
they're swiping away. It's
no.
crazy how the uh attention span is so different from platform to platform.
Half a
Like
second. I'm
people on
talking like
Facebook want to talk. They actually want conversations and they want to get into the conversation and fill the comment sections. Instagram just wants your quickest advice possible. And
mhm.
and then YouTube is like, I'm gonna dig in. I'm gonna sit here for an hour and learn about volleyball. So now I'm looking at YouTube.
But I mean, YouTube has a certain level of like presence compared to other social media because you can see people on TikTok not translate to YouTube at all,
Oh right, yeah,
or Instagram and not translate to YouTube at all. It works much better from YouTube and then to others than others onto YouTube. It just, I don't know why that is, but maybe because this is a shorter platform which requires less stage presence or less personality
hmm
versus YouTube, you got to carry a conversation with yourself. Like if you weren't here, I'd be talking to myself. So, you
I've got
know,
quite a few podcasts in the beginning that I did where it's just me teaching. Yeah,
right. And I mean, when you start a channel in the beginning, as you know, you're kind of like, hey guys, welcome to my channel,
mm,
and you watch it back and you're like, what the heck? This is awful.
yeah.
And then as you get better, you're like, okay, this is good. I can see myself. You see your own self come out.
There's also,
So
I think when you make the longer form content, like the longer videos that you can post on YouTube, if you teach for 8 minutes, 15 minutes on a video like that, you can turn that into 8 to 15 bits of content for Instagram,
right.
TikTok, the shorter ones. And then as soon as you do that, it's like, oh, you know what? That was a 1 minute video. Can we take like the main idea out of that video and just make it into a Twitter post?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would 100% agree that if you feel like you have gotten really great keystone content
Mm,
as using it somewhere else, because somebody on YouTube, somebody on Instagram might not have seen that.
Right.
But you know how Instagram works and you know how TikTok works. You just have to make sure that the camera quality doesn't decrease as you go. It
Yeah.
needs to be like the camera quality. I mean, in recent years, back in the day, you could start like a YouTube channel and a webcam, and that's cool, you
Right.
know? And nowadays it needs to be like, I'm talking like Xbox 360, like 3D animation level camera quality. Like I need to be right here, camera quality. So you have to make sure that you have the quality consistent, the sound consistent, and those are things that will help your channel grow in the long run
Hmm.
because we want content that's going to be continued to be watched over time.
Right.
It can't be filmed on potato. Like some of my videos early on were like filmed on like a potato. So I had to private them because I was looking back like, oh,
On a potato? What does that mean?
ooh, it's a joke. It means like it was filmed just horribly.
Oh,
Horribly. Just horribly. Like it's not even a camera. Somebody had like a potato.
that's
Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. So, but you want content that people are going to look at for years
Mm,
and years and years. I mean, people watch my videos from 5 years ago.
right. And that's the one thing that so I don't do any editing. I am bad at it. I'm slow at it, and I don't enjoy it in any way. I have a
No.
fantastic editor. I have three fantastic editors. One of them, Tanya Stumphauser, has essentially with her editing single-handedly built our YouTube channel. It was our teaching, but all of her editing. So she's been fantastic. But she got so concerned when we started moving over to Instagram. She's like, "We already posted that." And I said, "That was 6 months ago, and only 20% of your audience even sees any post that you put out. So really, within a 6 month period, you should post the same thing 5 times if you actually want to serve your audience. And if it's good information, how many times has your best coach told you the same thing?
A
Like
lot.
you need to hear it again, right? So
Mhm.
we're now in this big kind of reposting um time with our not YouTube because that becomes hard, but definitely with our Instagram and with our TikTok, we're going and saying like, no, just keep recycling it.
Mhm,
It'll hit somebody at the right time when they most need it. When they
mhm.
just messed up on match point or when they're going into a tournament and like, oh yes, I gotta remember that today.
Right.
So
Right.
it's not harming anybody to put that
Yeah.
out. Some people will unfollow you, and okay, they don't need you right now, but when they do, they'll come back, and you haven't hurt their feelings.
Right. Right. I mean, that's something I had to learn in the beginning as well. When people unfollow you, don't take it personally. In my mind, I take it as, okay, well, maybe they don't play volleyball anymore.
Right? Or, hey, you
Maybe,
got a
you know,
store. They came into your store, and then looked around, liked a bunch of stuff, but weren't ready to buy anything, so they left. That's not them
right.
being a jerk. That's them like they had a good time seeing some nice stuff in your store. They'll
Right.
probably come back later.
But I mean, like sometimes when people have like a very small YouTube channel
Yeah.
and where it's easier to notice the unfollowers, they're like,
Ah,
oh, like I had 100 subscribers and now I have 98. Like that can hurt. I mean, that can hurt. But then as you grow, you start to realize that you're valuable, your content is valuable, and you have to be confident in yourself because, this mass of people like what you do. And it's okay if some person doesn't, because not everybody's gonna like what you do,
right.
but a lot of people do.
Yeah, and if you're going out there with a good heart, and you're doing good things, you can be happy with your place in the world.
Right.
So long as you're following your heart, you're doing something that you love, and you're doing it in a genuine way. And that's we can always, for the amount of work that we've put in, with admittedly quite little return, but a lot of growth in terms of audience. We're like, man, we're doing a good thing. And then people will stop
Yeah.
us at tournaments. They'll come, they'll say hi, ask for pictures, and it's like, this is cool. This is why we did it.
Does it
So
make you feel good?
it does. It really does. It's you found your place in the sport, you know, and you're able to give something. Because I started playing pro indoor and then moved to the beach, and for me, it was it was never enough to just have that contract and play in front of a bunch of people. Like, hey, watch me, and that
Yeah.
will make your life better because you're entertained. I never thought entertainment for entertainment's sake was any good. I said, how do I give something to make my place in the world meaningful? And I want to be able to help people. So in my contracts, I've said this on a few other episodes, but in my contracts, I always said, can you include that I get to work with the juniors club or another team within the program? And that always made me feel better to be able to help somebody. It got me out of my own head, right? Even when I was playing bad, I said, now I get to help somebody. So I can't feel bad and be all pissy. I have to go and actually help this person not make the same mistakes that I did. And now the world's becoming a better place because of me. It's not just people
It
watching.
is. I mean, it really is. And then when you get to the place where you taught somebody everything they needed to know, that's going to come back and like really hit you hard. Like I've had players who started on my channel and now they're playing in college. And it's like, oh my God, like I taught you how to serve and now you're serving for like it's really emotional for me because
Yep.
it's like, wow, like the person that I would like I really helped you like fly from the nest, like
Yeah.
it makes me feel really really good. And just side note, like I'm a teacher in real life, so
Great.
sometimes I have students who will go on my YouTube channel and they're like, well, hey, and I'm like, I'm inspiring you to play volleyball here, and then I see you during the daytime, so
Yep.
it's the smile that you get from somebody who when they really get something from
Mhm.
you is just irreplaceable. Like I love playing
Yes.
volleyball more than anything in this world, and I love hitting the volleyball more than anything in this world. But to watch somebody else do it because I've helped them learn how to do it is just fantastic because their joy literally is my joy. It is to be able to see them get it and that light bulb goes off for the first time and you're like, you got it. It makes me feel so good.
Oh, we got the same heart. I swear, coach, we got the same heart. It's that face when somebody does something for the first time and it surprises them. And
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it worked."
I told you. I told you.
I love the "it worked" statement.
Yeah. I
It's so
told
much
you what's
fun.
gonna happen, and then we jump up, "Ah!" you
Yeah.
like you win a game show and you're hugging each other. That's
Yeah.
what we do.
Yeah, you do the high
So
knees real quick.
uh-huh. Yeah, we have so much fun. I mean, it's a great thing. Playing volleyball is an amazing thing. And I feel like if you get to a level that you are just spectacular at volleyball, there is another you out there who needs you right now.
Mm,
Oh, that's a
absolutely.
word. That's a whole
That's
vibe.
nice. That's a sound bite right
Yeah.
there. Yep.
Yeah, there's another you who needs you right now. And I think it is just so helpful when you can tell somebody else, I've gone through the fire here, so let me help walk you through. So I think that it's really great. And I really wish that more volleyball players would take mentees under their wing. Maybe they're playing middle school for the first time or high school for the first time. It would be so fantastic to have somebody I'm having a really hard time at this game and I don't know how I feel about this. Somebody you can talk to about that safe space,
Yes.
creating a safe space for them because volleyball is a wonderful, beautiful thing, but that relationship you can build with others around volleyball is just chef's kiss.
100%. That makes me think that so many people are missing something because I was in a fraternity for 2 years, and we had bigs and littles. So when
Hmm.
I came into the fraternity, I had a big brother, somebody who was supposed to guide me like on my way to being a man and to making sure that I could actually weather the storm of college. And there are some programs I've learned from, like studio fitness programs, that they say introduce your new members for that class to one of your veterans and say, hey, can you show them around, make sure they don't get lost, but for teams, why aren't more high school club teams pairing their new members or a younger team and saying, that's your big, anytime you need something, you get to go to her. The amount of personal growth that, first of all, the mentor, even if they're two
Yeah.
years 2 years older, the mentor gets to have, because like, oh, I'm kind of now responsible for somebody else, and they get to now have to have a respect for their own image because of how their little is going to look at them. And
Yeah.
then giving somebody, I was lucky enough to have older brothers, but giving somebody young somebody older that they can talk to about things, or saying, no, your questions, your problems, your concerns, here, direct them here. That's what this person is for. I think a
Yeah. I
lot of
mean,
high school teams can, and college teams can really benefit from that.
I think that would be a wonderful thing because it's one thing to do and it's another thing to teach. And sometimes we learn better to teach something than we may do something. And I know that college players are so busy with life, with school, with practice, all of that. But to take a younger high school student and show them, maybe a high school student who didn't think college was in their plans, and
Hmm.
now they're going to go. And they may be a first generation college student, but you were the difference that made them want to go to college. Or you that were the difference who helped them feel better if they maybe were going through depression and the sport really healed them. Volleyball can do a lot of different things, but if we have this mentor mentee relationship, it's just like a next level. It's adding a layer onto how great it is. I think that that can open up a lot of doors. And this is something that people should pursue.
We
Really look
touched on
into.
something here. We touched on something.
Look, I mean, I
Yeah.
mean, it's so true.
Okay. So we're gonna kind of wrap this up, but I do want one good meaty piece of advice for somebody who is trying to build a following for their club, for their team, for their organization. Do you think that with your experience, so mainly TikTok, Instagram, YouTube,
Mhm,
like those are your biggest experience? Of course, you have a website as well, where
mhm.
people can book you for online training and take one of your courses. That's awesome. And I have it here, but you can say it out loud. Sorry, it's in the background here.
No, it's
What's the name
okay.
of your website?
It is www.kokovolley.com. That's www.kokovolley.com.
You can go there, learn indoor volleyball, get some coaching, get some mentality training, and confidence training. I love that you're doing that. It's so necessary. But for anybody who wants to develop their organization and get some eyes on it, and they say, like, what's important to them right now is just that enough people know that there is a juniors club that they're starting, or that there is, an open gym that they're starting. What would be some good meaty piece of advice either on YouTube or Instagram? And what do you think that they should start or continue posting or doing?
I think in the real world, they need
Mm,
to make connections with people around them that have connections to the players they're looking for. Like I said before, looking at those athletic directors, looking at those church directors because they have the people that you're looking for. They have the students who would play in club. But for social media sake, you have to think about what does the player want? You could want to teach something, you might want to teach how to, I don't know, how to set, but is the player looking how to set? You need to look at what they want to know and give that to them.
mm,
A lot of the times we have a plan in our mind of how we think our coaching is going to go or how we think things are supposed to go, and it
yep.
doesn't go like that. So, talking to your players and saying, or the players you have existing, what would you want me to work with you on? And taking that feedback and giving that lesson and then stacking on a new piece of information. Okay, we need to review overhand serving, and then we're going to start talking about the float serve. Okay, we're going to talk about the float serve. Okay, let's talk about the footwork to jump serve. Okay, it's a building blocks of
Mhm.
tools. And players are so easy to overwhelm. So keep that in mind when you think about progressing skills too quickly because when you're trying something new, you can't just go and bake a cake with no instructions. You need to start at the beginning. So
Yeah.
just remember that players can get overwhelmed quickly, and to be kind and be understanding of where they're coming from, and having that open level of communication. Opening that channel of communication can do wonders. Wonders. I wish that, I mean, I had a communicative coach, but I wish that more coaches would go to their players and say, "How do you feel today? What's going
Mm,
on? How was school today? You look upset. Talk to me.
right.
This is a safe space." So asking your players what they need to know, what they want to know, and using that to create content around your club.
I like that.
That was
So
a long form version.
it sounds like to sum it up a little bit, it sounds like more finding out what your players want to know and what the people in your community, organization, future organization would want
Mhm.
to know, and posting more about that or more how you teach it, in,
Yes.
instead of just views of you doing it. And I think when I started my business, it was just kind of pictures of people playing, and our Instagram stayed stagnant forever. As soon as we started giving useful advice on our social media stuff, that's when followings came. People started sharing. Like, no one's going to really share a picture of a bunch of people playing,
No.
right? So that won't actually help you grow. But if it's a great piece of advice, all of a sudden that growth will then be shared. People will save it. The algorithm helps you and everything like that. So I love that piece of advice.
I
Just
mean, you
start
have to remember
giving.
that social media is either entertainment or value.
Mm,
Which one are you gonna be?
right. I like that. And some
I mean, I like to be entertaining, but
edutainment. I know.
right.
That's something
I
we're
like
missing
being
so bad. Like, we're so
entertaining.
not entertaining. We're just like
You I
teachers.
mean, you're entertaining right now. This
All
is a
right.
whole vibe.
I appreciate that. I appreciate
That's what
that.
you gotta get. You gotta get the person that you have to have be somebody that they just want to like. I like that guy. He's funny. You know, give it a way that just super casual, super casual.
You got it. I'll be more casual from now on.
I mean, you seem casual now, so
All right. I'll continue being me then.
yeah, always. That's what people want. People want you. They don't want Mark's representative. They want.
Mm, I feel that. Coach Coco, thank you so much. It's so cool to get to meet somebody that I looked up to, somebody who built something that I was just like, man, how did she do this? It would be so cool to be able to pick her brain and figure out what she did, how she grew such a massive audience, and then, how much you're helping players. It's not just entertainment. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
entertaining, but you're also teaching. So you're giving yourself to the world, which I think is something beautiful and not to
Thank
be taken lightly.
you.
So thank you for your channel and for all your education and for helping all of the players out there. And thank you for providing inspiration for somebody like me, seeing the way that you grow your channels and me saying like, okay, it's possible, like greater things are possible. So you did that in two ways. You've inspired a creator, whatever I can call myself
Yeah,
now,
you're
and,
creator.
and all of the players who follow you. So you're touching on more than one audience, and I just want to say from everybody and definitely from myself, thank you for doing everything you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It has been a long journey and a long road. I never thought that I would hit 200,000 subscribers. I swear I didn't. I really didn't. And then, I hit 100,000 and then I got the plaque and then I had a party for it and now we're
Woo!
here. So I don't know what's from here, but all I know is I'm going to keep teaching y'all how to serve and we're going to keep going.
I love that. I love that. Do you have any parting advice for anyone in my or your audience before we sign off here?
I do. One thing that you should always remember is the growth mindset. Nobody is born with a specific set of skills. We all have to learn. And remember that comparison is the thief of joy. So don't compare yourself when you're trying out for your team or you're learning how to play beach volleyball for the first time. Don't look at other players and say, "Well, why can he do it and I can't?" Progress is not linear. You have to take your time because your journey is different than another person's journey. And with that growth mindset, you can do it.
I love that. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to do all of our sign off stuff, but really appreciate you. Nice meeting you. And I hope we get to talk a lot in the future.
Yeah, just send me an email. I'm one email away.
Awesome. And for anybody who's trying to get in touch with Coach Coco, or follow any of her accounts, those are all linked in the show notes in the description. Go ahead, give it a click, give her a follow, give her a subscribe, and help our fantastic sport grow so that we can get it bigger and badder than it
We need
already
it.
is.
We need it.
Yep. Yep. All right, Coach. You have a great night. Thank you for coming on. Bye-bye. Guys, thank you so much for listening. That was a cool episode, and I know I kind of fanboyed out there for a little bit, so excuse that. But it was cool to see somebody so far ahead of me in their teaching game, and it's quasi-digital marketing / social media. But there's so much to learn there, and it's crazy intimidating. And she has done all of her channels with a ton of positivity and a ton of "I'm just going to teach this basic to get you from zero or just starting up to that intermediate level. And then I'm sure she can take you beyond that. She's got a number of levels on her website, which you can check out by clicking underneath the link. So go ahead and make sure that you give her a follow and a subscribe and check out her website. It's really cool stuff. From us here at Better at Beach, like I said, our camps are ready to rock. So this fall and winter, and then going into the spring of 2023, we should have some openings. One of them is already sold out. That's sold out within 2 weeks, and the rest of them, there are no more than 20 spots left in any of our weeks. So go ahead to betterbeach.com/camps. Come hang out with us in Florida. If you want to book us for a clinic, if you want to bring us to your hometown, me, Brandon, any of our fantastic and growing coaching staff, go to betterbeach.com/clinics. There is a form there that you can fill out. Just know all we need is a court that you can control, whether it's permitted or not, or it could be in your backyard. Just know that we need a fixed court. We need a minimum of 12 players committed for the day. And for a one-day clinic, which is 3 2.5-hour sessions, we are currently, as of this time of filming, charging $250 a person. So if you want to get us out there, get all that stuff fixed up, then fill out that form, and let's rock and roll. It'll be cool to hang out with you for a weekend. Currently, our Ultimate Defender program, betteratbeach.com/Ultimate Defender, is rocking. Remember, we have recorded courses which will show you a tutorial, give you the drills that you should do for that, and then move you progressively through techniques and strategies. So we have the recorded courses, and we also have our online coaching program, the Complete Player program, which means that you'll get all of the courses and hands-on coaching, which means that once you do the drills from that course, you get to converse with us, send our coaches messages, post your videos of the drills so that we can help you fix your technique, take you to the next level. If you have any ideas for who we should have on the podcast or things that you want us to talk about, ideas that you want us to cover, one good way to tell us about those is going to Volley Chat on Facebook. It is the Better at Beach Volleyball official public Facebook group. We have a ton of people in there asking rules and technique questions and getting quick answers. Conversations are in depth, and we have AVP, FIVB referees, players, and coaches. So you're getting great answers in there. And we keep a very close eye on that group. So if you want us to cover a certain topic in a video or on a podcast, go ahead and post in there. Also, if you want to check anything out, you can follow us on Instagram. You can follow me at Mark Burrick, MarkBurik, or our Instagram, our company Instagram channel, Better at Beach Volleyball. Would love to hear from you. Coaches, always, always, always reach out. Whatever you're thinking, whatever trouble you're having, love coaches. So come and ask me. Message me if you're having a problem, if you have an idea, if you're stuck or wondering what you should do to design a practice, to figure out what drills you can do or how to teach X. We are starting coaching clinics this year, but before we start those coaching clinics, I'm just happy to help. So reach out anytime you want. All right, that is all from us. This is my third episode of the day, but for you, it comes out once a week. I'll tell you what, I'm fired up after talking to 3 cool people today. This was a really good day for me, and I hope you got a lot of value out of this episode and all of our episodes. If you like it, go ahead and subscribe, share it with somebody who you know wants to hear about more volleyball stuff. From me and all the gang at Better at Beach, see you later. See you on the sand.